through each of those steps. We've got one final step to go. God has undertaken and provided. Are you in a tough financial situation at the moment? God has the answer. Talk to him about it, and he can provide that answer for you. Remember in the fundraising trip to India, I said, God, how on earth are we going to raise money? So I just kept going to God, what do I do? First thing he says, email your database. So I did that. We raised about, I don't know, $2,000 or $3,000 doing that. Then we did some of the Facebook Lives, and then I thought, because it just phone Matt and do a Facebook Live. So we did that. But I had to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to do that. If he was 9 o'clock here, it was easy. Sometimes you've got to do some stuff. You've got to do some stuff. And then I thought, God, how are we going to get? We're stuck at 6,000. God, what do we do? And he just dropped in my heart. Just ask people for $25 each. And that week doubled from there. It was just a simple thing. God has the strategy for you. He knows your financial situation. Just some quick giving testimonies. Some of these are from non-Christians, by the way. A guy had just gone bankrupt. His business had done well, but he'd gone bankrupt. And he was down to $22. He said, I'll go to an all-you-can-eat thing for $5. So he went there. He couldn't even afford to drive down because he couldn't afford to pay parking. He had the $22 in his pocket. He had a big meal, all-you-can-eat bar. But while he was there, he saw this mum and young son, and he went up to the son and said, well done for taking your mum out to dinner. And he gave him the rest of the money that was in his pocket. He said, I skipped home, but he had no money left. He'd just given it all away. The next day he woke up and in the mail was a check for $1,200. Someone owed him $1,000 and it had taken him 2 years to pay it back, and said, so sorry, here's an extra $200 to compensate. And in those days that was enough for him to live on for a month. He said he now gives away 1 billion meals a year. He was telling a testimony of a billionaire who said, and I don't think this guy is a Christian, I haven't been able to look it up. He said, if you tithe for 10 years, you will become wealthy. I thought, that's interesting. This week, a friend of mine messaged me and she said, and I know she's been on no income over Christmas because she's casual and they stand them down over Christmas. And she said, Wes, I just gave $50 away the other day, but I got a check for $500 from a previous employer who was going through and saying I was owed a bonus. And she said it came as soon as I gave. Sometimes it's hard to give, but you know what? When you guys become multi-millionaires, you're not going to be giving money away unless you've given money away with your first dollar. Sometimes it's harder to do it when you've got nothing, or sometimes it's easier to do it when you've got nothing. But it's about standing on, this is what the word says. God, this is what I'm going to do. So I pray today as you give, you will hear the voice of God. He will guide you, lead you, direct you, and he will